Hi, I'm Jean Marlowe. A couple of 3 months ago, on the week that the grand jury's meeting on my case, on Tuesday evening of that week, to my memory, my phone rang. I picked it up, and a man started apologizing to me. I stopped and said, "Who is this here?" And he told me it was Grady Shehan, and he explained to me what was going on. He said the sheriff's department was trying to force him into going in front of the grand jury, or did force him in front of going to the grand jury, and he needed help. At that time, I took his phone number, called Jean, my ex-wife, and I also called the lawyer who was headed out to Florida. I also called Charles Shehan, Grady Shehan's father, to see if he wanted to do something about this here, because they're using his son, was what I was told, for wrong purposes and to lie against me. At that time, that night we didn't get nothing done. The next morning, I went straight to the Polk County Courthouse, which was Wednesday, and got there at 8:30 because that's when I thought court started. Talked to the bailiff there at the courthouse and told him a man named Grady Shehan had come forward and what he had said, and I wanted to talk to the judge about it or the DA about it. When the DA stepped out of his car, I was there to talk to him about it. And all the way in, I told him what was going on. Then a man named Grady Shehan that came forward and what he said. And when we got upstairs, he went back into the back room and came back out and told me if my case wasn't going on now, he didn't want to hear about it. So I came back home. Later that day, I called out to Brevard, because that's where the DA worked for Polk County works out of, and told his office and someone in his office that I tried to go talk to him about it, and he didn't want to talk to him about it. That what was going to do is was send a copy to the North Carolina State Attorney General's office, and the lawyer was going to give a copy of it to the FBI. Which I don't think the lawyer ever did give a copy of it to the FBI, but that's what happened. And Jean, the same day when I went and talked to the DA, Jean hadn't went and even got the video yet. That night she went and got Grady, and they done the video, and when she brought it back, we looked at it, and it's what you're going to see in a few minutes. But in no way has anybody ever done anything to Grady Shehan. And for someone to say that Jean and Ricky Moore took a gun and forced him to do anything, this is just wrong. The only thing that I've ever said to the sheriff is that his informant was wrong, that the story was off, that they should want good information. And then someone told me, actually, Officer Robinson and Officer Jackson told me that they didn't think it was the informant, but they thought it was the officers in charge. And even at that time, I hadn't heard anything from anybody. But not long after that, Grady Shehan called, and I began to question it. And when they re-indicted me, I kind of got in the sheriff's face, and all of them. I just told them they was going to reap what they sowed. It wasn't right what they done. I didn't tell them what they done. I just told them that karma would get them, and that made them mad. So all I want is the truth to come out, and when the truth comes out, I think it's going to shock people in Polk County, because it's not right. Now, why they're going to this much trouble, why there's a lie, I guess their reputation's on the line, but all we want is the truth, and we hope we can get this in front of a judge as soon as possible. Because I think that Grady Shehan, he called us. When he's in front of a judge, I believe he'll tell the truth, and everybody will see what's going on. But in the meantime, I think that the sheriff's department is putting Grady in the position to where he could be dangerous to him, and that Grady does need some kind of protection. He said that to us and everything. And from the get-go, we've tried to get the lawyer down here right in the beginning. He was going to Florida, or we'd had more, you know. And I just hope the truth all comes out. And Jean can tell you her part about going over there and getting the video done.
When Grady called, he told Steve, and I called him back and talked to him, and he asked me to come and see him. When I went to his house, he was outside the trailer in the yard, and I pulled in, and he got in the car with me and said we could ride over to the campground and talk about it. When I got over there with him, he told me that the sheriff's department had been trying to get him to say things about Steve all year long, and that in November that he got in some trouble and he had got busted with several things at the time, and they told him that the only way he could get out of it would be to testify against Steve and sign a statement against Steve. And he said he told them, and it was he could make something up, that he hadn't seen Steve in 7 or 8 years. And they told him they didn't care how he got it, as long as he got something. So he said that he made something up and told them he made it up. And he said when he told them that he wouldn't go and lie to the grand jury, they told him that they would put him in prison for 10 years for perjury. Now, of course, most people know that they don't usually do stuff like that. You know, they use these so-called reliable informants all the time. And this boy's constantly recanting his story when he says stuff. They're forcing him to do it. He seems to be quite scared. He said that a long time ago that over his first wife that he had, you know, told on somebody one time, but it was over a woman. And ever since then that they force him to tell lies on people all the time. And he's scared of them. And he says he's scared of Matt Prince, and that Juan Hernandez is constantly pressuring him, and Trent Carswell.